Hi everyone, it's Hannah or Lamancy and welcome back to another doll customization video. Today I'm going to be showing you how I made Lilith from the Owl House. I love Lilith. Okay, I did hate her for a brief moment in season 1, but I forgive her. Now she's cool. I really wanted to make Lilith, especially her new season 2 outfit, which is really cool, so I did it. I really don't have much else to say. Let's just get started with the video. Bye! The doll I'm using is Apple White from Ever After High. As you can see, this doll has molded on leggings, but it's going to be covered up by a long dress and boots. First thing I did was cut off all the gross sticky hair. I then placed the head in hot water so it could soften up. It makes the head more flexible and much easier to pull the remaining hair out. To get all the remaining hair and glue gunk out of the head, I first scraped around the inside with scissors and then pulled out the chunks with tweezers. For Lilith's hair, I'm using this dark blue 100% acrylic yarn. I cut the yarn to the length I wanted and then unraveled the hair into individual strands. I use a rerouting tool I got from the Doll Planet Hair on Etsy to push the strands into the holes. Because this yarn is so floofy, I didn't need to push hair into every hole. I realized later I forgot her gray streak, so you'll see later in the video that I fixed that. Once there was a full head of hair, I squeezed glue into the neck hole and made sure to coat it all around so that the hair stays in place. Then I used a pet brush to brush out the yarn. I start from the bottom and then work my way up after each section is free of tangles. Once the hair was all brushed out, I used a flat iron to straighten it. I give it a quick brush after I straighten it. Beautiful, smooth yarn hair. I wrapped fabric around the hair and pinned it in place to protect it, then wiped off the factory paint using acetone nail polish remover. Q-tips help get into small crevices like the corners of the eyes and the lips. I then went outside and sprayed the face with Mr. Superclear. This preps the face for the pencils. Doll customizers, don't forget your mask. I draw on the face using Faber-Castell watercolor pencils. I always use a light color for the initial sketch of the face because it's easier to erase or hide if I made a mistake. I always look at a reference picture when drawing the faces too. Lilith has slightly hooded eyes with lines under them, as well as black eyeliner. And since I'm doing the new look she received on the season 1 finale, she has one gray eye and one green eye. Drawing characters with unique features like that is always so fun. She also has black lipstick, which I love. Anyway, I make sure to spray Mr. Superclear every so often so that I can both save my progress and build up the color vibrancy. For the blush, I use Faber-Castell Soft Pastels. I take a brush and just rub it on the pastel chalk to get the pigment and then brush it lightly onto the doll face. I then added dots of white acrylic paint to the eyes. I used the head of a pin to make the dots perfectly round. Once the paint dried, I brushed on gloss varnish to make the eyes and lips shiny. Here's the streak of gray which I forgot to add earlier. I really love how she turned out. I think she looks so pretty. Clothes time! I'll be making her season 2 outfit. For her dress, I used this stretchy gray knit fabric and cut out this tube top looking thing. I hemmed the top of it with fabric glue. I used a basic half circle skirt pattern and gathered it at the top. I then sewed the top to the skirt. It ended up being a little bulky, which I didn't like, but at least it will be covered with a shirt. I then folded it right sides together and sewed up the dress, leaving an opening at the top for the Velcro closure. I placed the dress on the doll and marked where I should cut the dress. Then I worked on the black underskirt. I did the same thing as the last skirt, except for this one I hemmed the bottom. I placed the black skirt onto the doll and sewed it into place, then pulled the gray dress over it. Lilith's dress has some stitches attaching the gray fabric to the black, so I hand stitched those on. I cut out a couple of black straps and glued it down onto the top. I used this loose top pattern from DG Requiem but made it bigger so that it can fit over the dress and be a bit baggy. I cut it out of gray cotton fabric and then hemmed the neckline and sleeves. I sewed up the sides and down the sleeves. I hemmed the bottom and one side of the back opening. For the battery image on her shirt, I used my Cricut Joy to cut out 3 different pieces out of iron-on material. First was the white battery shape, then over that I ironed on the low red battery, then I ironed on the black outline. Here's how it turned out! For her boots, I'm just going to paint these purple boots black. I have no idea which doll these boots came from, sorry. Once the paint dried, I added gloss varnish to make them shine. Finally, her raven staff. I made her talisman using epoxy sculpt. I started off by putting this lump of clay onto a small dowel rod. I molded it until it was rounder and then put more clay on top, which will be the head, beak part. Then I removed clay from the top so there could be these pointy bits. Once the clay hardened, I sanded it, then started carving into it with an X-Acto knife. I sanded it some more and then painted it. Once the paint was dry, I added gloss varnish to make it shiny. Also, as you can see in the pictures, I wrapped a bit of craft foam at the bottom of the talisman to hide a mistake I made. Anyway, Lilith is complete. She was a lot of fun to make. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Lilith's dress has some... Why is it so hard? Lilith's dress has